On. What's up, Rebels? Doug here at Pride Conditioning with your Monday motivation every single week. And this week we are talking about finding opportunity even in the darkest of situations. Ready? Here we go. Rebels. So this week we are talking about finding opportunity in the darkest of places, and this is one of those places. This is one of those times. And I've talked about this many times before, that basically the day is darkest just before the dawn. I talked about this last week or the week before, and talking about how tomorrow will bring new opportunities. Well, this week I'm going to give you a different analogy, and the analogy this week is when one door closes, another door opens, right? We've all heard this one before. Now, what you don't tend to think about is the time in between the door closing and the other door opening. Now, let's say we're in a room, that room is our life, there's no window, there's no light switch, there's no electricity, there's no candles, there's no, batteries, there's no phones, there's no flashlights. You are in this room and you have nothing. So when that one door closes, there's a time before the next door opens. And during that time, that room is going to be pitch black. This is when people start to think, how long am I going to be in this room for? How long is this going to be dark for? People start to freak out. There's no light. It's dark, I can't see anything, I don't know where to go, I'm lost, I don't know if I can find the other door, I don't know if I can find the other side of the room. Sometimes people will freak out, sometimes people will just sit down in place and do nothing, right? We call that paralysis by analysis, right? You get so freaked out and overwhelmed, you just stop, you freeze. That's the fight or flight response. People sometimes just freak out and do nothing. My point is, this is that time. I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a story. I'll try to make it brief. So 2008, 2009, I was in construction, was making really good money. I had a really good degree, decided not to use it like an idiot because I like construction and I like to build things, and I still do. But now, I still get to use my degree. But anyways, back then, 2008, 2009, recession hits, construction completely dries up, I'm out of a job. I have nothing to do, I have no income. I'm in the gym 2 to 3 hours a day, and now I'm in the gym even longer because I have nothing else better to do. So the thought was, why don't I find a way to make the gym my life and my career and get paid from being in the gym? So, became a trainer, took on a part-time job, it was a really shitty job, and I got paid very little money, but we got our bills paid, I had food to eat. I went through certification, started classes, started training people, and then 2010, boom, Pride is born, and 10 years later, here we are. 2009 actually, Pride was born, so we're going on 11 years this year. My point is, during that time, it was rough. It was a really, really tough time in my life. It was definitely one of the lowest points, but I had Lindsay. She had a job, so we had some money. We had a place to live. We had food, and I had something to look forward to. I had goals and aspirations. During that dark time, one door closed, another door opened, and there was a time in between when I didn't know what I was going to do. I didn't know. We were running around trying to find construction jobs, and there weren't any. They're just gone. And during that time, I will admit, things were not good. I was very, very stressed out. But I've learned over the years about that dark time, the time in the room, in between the door closing and the door opening. During that time, you can either freak out, you can freeze, or you can mentally stay strong and you can start thinking about what you are going to do when the next door opens. You can start thinking about, if that door is not opening on its own, if you don't see that handle unlock, maybe you need to break a hole in the wall. Maybe that is the answer. Maybe the door isn't going to open and you need to make a door. My point is, there are always opportunities, even in the darkest of times and in the darkest of places. Sometimes this is when we get our biggest inspiration. Sometimes this is when we truly learn to let go of the past and start looking forward to the future, making goals, making plans, and making something of ourselves, all right? Change is going to happen. It's inevitable, and change is a good thing. Change is not always bad. But what we need to learn to do is not freak out while we're in that dark room. All right. So this is what I want you guys to think about this week. This is your Monday motivation. Think about that this week. If the door has closed behind you and that room is dark, it's pitch black, don't freak out, don't run around, but don't freeze. We need to look forward. We need to think about plans, goals, what we are going to do once that other door opens, or we need to just break a hole in the fucking wall. And that is your Monday motivation for this week, guys. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, and comment. Peace.